Here's a live look this morning at the U.S. Capitol building in Washington. Less than 24 hours ago, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was inside, facing questions from lawmakers about the conflict in the Middle East. So Hegseth spent much of the time defending the money spent so far.
President Trump is following a simple logic. The military requires a generational investment to deliver on peace through strength. We know the best way to create peace is to prepare for war, to deter it, and building a force so capable that it would be absurd for anyone to challenge it.
Robust and have been comprehensive, and we'll see what they come up with over the next couple of days in terms of the Rules Committee, and then ultimately I think it has to go to the next couple of days in terms of the Rules Committee, and then ultimately I think it has to go to the entire body of the DNC at some point in August. I haven't expressed a public position other than making clear I support Jim Clyburn's view that South Carolina should clearly play a preeminent role, as it has done now for several presidential cycles, in terms of the early nominating process, particularly in an environment where we've seen the Supreme Court unleash Jim Crow-like tactics in the Deep South, trying to undermine the ability of African Americans to select the candidates of their choice.
Mr. Leader, have you been briefed on this Saudi Arabia nuclear deal of the president's? And even if not, what's your overall assessment?
Yeah, I have not been briefed on the so-called nuclear deal with the president, and it's hard to know. He's announced how many different ceasefires, Donald Trump, how many different ceasefires has he announced during the course of the reckless and costly war of choice in Iran? Is there anything that he says, particularly when it relates to so-called agreements, that we can take seriously?
Well, overnight, the U.S. launching missile attacks in Iran for the 11th night in a row, and according to Secretary Hegseth, the Defense Department has already spent $37 billion in its war efforts in the Middle East. The White House is now asking Congress for another $67 billion. All this as peace talks have stalled out in recent weeks.